Man, I keep having to do this whole political thing on this show, but she actually said make Daxam great again. I mean, come on. How hard is it for me to just keep talking about superheroes in a superhero show? Welcome to the heart of the stories we tell. My name is Rob, and tonight I will be reviewing Supergirl episode 16, The Star-Crossed. And you know what? It's actually pretty cool. The idea that we have two couples who are going through massive problems, and both of them are basically the same type of characters. Now, having said that, there's also the problem of this show has a habit of writing characters like they're 8 years old when they're dealing with relationships. I don't know why they do it, but they do. So, there's some good and some bad in tonight's episode. But at the same time, I'm still going to give them points for trying to tie together some pretty loose themes and working with the whole Daxma thing. So before we get started, as usual, I need to just throw this up. So once again, it's stop. Spoiler time. Let's start with the story of how Mon-El escaped the destruction of Daxma. We've seen it before, but this time we see the real truth. And I would like to point out that the person whose ship he took, the ambassador, had a very familiar Kryptonian symbol on his shoulder. Someone was killed, well, lots of people died, to see him away. But the one I think is most important is the fact that there was a member of the House of El there. The fact that he was the prince alone was enough to end the honeymoon period between him and Kara, which, let's be honest, the beginning of the episode was a little too cutesy, even for this show. But when you think about it, it's really a testament to the fact that we have 3 relationships called into question tonight. Yes, that's right, I said 3. Because even when Wynn is arrested, the entire idea of calling your girlfriend and warning her ahead of time, and how, well, gee, I guess I can let him go on your reconnaissance for a little while, means a lot to that relationship when a police officer's willing to cheat the line. And all for Wynn. Win, win, win. I don't know if I should feel sorry for you or want to slap you for being so gullible. But I guess I was gullible too. Because there's part of me that when this first started said, oh, she's totally a plant and this is a setup. And then I said, no, maybe this really is real. There is part of me that wants to be the romantic and say, hey, the whole I'm rubbing off on you line meant something and that was cool and all. But there's also the part of me that kind of groans. Oh, right, the person that just totally destroyed your trust. You can trust her, right? Right? Although, I would like to subtract some points I gave them last time. Remember when Martian Manhunter showed up as the father and was all like, oh, and I could read minds and all that? Yeah, they forgot that he's a shape-shifting badass telepath this episode. Or else, I don't know. Then again, Kara, because she was having personal issues, just stopped kind of being Supergirl for a while too. Even though her best friend Wynn was in trouble. I mean, really, when Wynn says to his girlfriend, half the heroes of National City, he actually meant Guardian. Just the Guardian. But either I'm going soft in my old age, or it's growing on me, because you know what? The Guardian actually was very well used this week. As much as I have to laugh at him being called half of the superheroes of National City, I will say he came in, like, pretty badass. And that suit not only held up, but seemed realistic in the fact that, yeah, it can absorb some blows, but if it's someone that can go toe-to-toe with Supergirl, he just doesn't stand a chance. So, again, we have the fact that Supergirl doesn't really show up for this episode, pretty much at all. And I think part of that is the timing issue, because of the Flash crossover, which is yet another Red Sky crossover. Most of this episode is spent dealing with the Daxam issue. And let's talk about that for a minute. On Daxam, slavery is legal, and they're trying to defend it. Although, if you noticed, they didn't put that much effort into defending it. I'm sure that there has to be someone that could have written the script for Kevin Sorbo and Terry Hatcher to be at least a little bit better than that. Meanwhile, the whole, well, they broke up because she can't trust him anymore, is very realistic. But it's the level of realism I don't want in my TV shows. What about you guys? What do you think? Do you think that she should have given him another chance? I mean, I'm sure she will before the end of the season, but do you think that breaking up with someone because of who they were before you met is valid? Especially when they've obviously changed. I don't know. The more I watch this show, the more I'm kind of up in the air as to whether or not it's trying to make just a series of political statements, or if it's a really good comic book show. Sometimes it's a little bit of both. At the end of the day, though, I think that they missed quite a few opportunities with having Kevin Sorbo and Terry Hatcher. This actor and actress could have pulled off much better than what they did if they had been given any real screen time. And the idea of, hey, I don't want to live under my mommy and daddy's thumb anymore. I realize they taught me things the wrong way, could have been a great theme for the episode. But most of this episode seemed to be about Win and his relationship, and the rest of it suffered from the fact that they were also trying to Red Sky crossover with Flash. Speaking of which, I'll be covering that as well. If you want to see it, subscribe, like, and share this video to help me build the community. And we'll come back here next week when hopefully there will be a slightly better episode of Supergirl. Until then, tonight I'll do Flash and Arrow videos as well. I hope you have a good night, and thanks for watching.